Hello, 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 hello. I'm Carltaze Ransom, the host of TheCNote, where we keep it 100 or 100, as we say here in Baltimore, where the real recognize real. And we also see you fakers out there too, coming to you with season 2 of TheCNote episode 3. I will be talking to two actors, friends of mine tonight, Charles. Come on, this thing. And we'll be talking about his journey as an actor, his life, and so forth. And then we'll be bringing on brother Roger Tyler, who's also an actor, a writer, and producer. And there is the Charles Lee right there. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Good. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Right.
So here we have brother Charles Lee, who was an actor. Um, he's originally from Brooklyn, New York, correct?
Yeah, I was born in Cali, but I mainly grew up in New York.
I'm born in Cali. Okay. And you first got your interest in acting after seeing James Earl Jones in Fences. And after that, your mother enrolled you in the South Coast
Yeah, repertory
repertory.
theater.
Yeah. And from there, you did some stage work, including The Wizard of Oz and Othello and uh, a whole lot of stuff here. And you did some film work with Boys in the Hood and Mo Better Blues. Um, got a lot of credits here, definitely. But I'm going
Yeah.
to let you talk about who you are. So, what was it about James Earl Jones's performance? Well, let me start over. Before you saw that, you'd had no interest at all in acting. Is that correct? Before you saw that production?
I mean, I had interest in films. It was
Okay.
actually from watching cartoons to be honest with you, and
Cartoons. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
actually the film that made me want to go into films was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
Okay.
it was at the time it was so groundbreaking to have
Hmm.
live action and animation mixing
Right.
together, and that made me go, wow, I want to do that, So I just started intimidating Charles Fletcher's voice, the guy that voiced Roger Rabbit.
Right.
I had the opportunity to meet him 10 years ago, and it was just but what really grabbed me was when I met James Earl Jones. It was actually through Lloyd Richards, who directed the play Fences on at the
So
40th
you
Street.
at first your interest was only in film, but after seeing James Earl Jones, that piqued your interest in stage work. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, because my mother was telling me that even at that young age,
Hmm.
I had the worst speech impediment, where I stuttered. And
Right.
my mother was telling me the story about James Earl Jones also had a stutter too,
Oh wow.
and,
Okay.
and he was
I
saying
didn't
that
know that. Hmm.
yeah, and he was telling me that if I can do it, you can do it, and
Wow.
and and uh, and Lloyd Richards, God bless his soul, you know, um, he has taught the best of the black actors that we see today, because he actually was
Hmm.
an acting teacher at Yale uh, um,
Right.
during that time. So he trained Charles S. Dutton. He trained Angela Bassett, Courtney
Hmm.
B. Vance, who was doing who was in the play at the time, along with Mary Alice, who was in A Different World, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So I just got myself in acting classes, and the first acting class that I had, it was a teacher. She was from Romania,
Okay.
and I was looking down and trying to,
Hey.
and she was like, what are you doing? Lift your head up. Lift your head up. And she was asking me to read for this particular, to do a scene exercise. And she's like, she as I was getting ready to read, she's like, stop with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? As a matter of fact, take your shoes off. You
Okay.
cannot portray another character in your own shoes.
Hmm.
So that really, and also that really struck a chord with me. And also, another lesson was, and this is something I always carry, was finding the strength in the character.
Right. So she actually had you physically take off your shoes to achieve that goal. Um, as far as not doing a character that's totally different from you, from your own shoes, is however she was saying it. Like you're not fully invested in the character. That's what she
Right.
was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. Well, I want to commend you for keep going and not giving up despite the fact that you have a stuttering problem. You should be commended. I know that I worked with you before. You were in my film Speak It Real uh back in 2017, and you did a great job. You started some in real life, but when you're on camera or whatever, or on stage, nobody would ever know. Which I know it takes effort and it takes work, because I know personally, being somebody who also has a quote unquote disability, suffering from, I had a brain injury as a child. And of course, I was told that I wouldn't be able to do this and do that. And sometimes I may have a problem with stuttering as well, because of that brain injury, but I've worked on that myself. And, you know, um, so it is what it is. So, but people like that have challenges and overcome them, I commend you, uh, totally for that.
Yeah, and
So,
people have people have told me that that I wouldn't make it as an actor. That I should think about it.
hmm
And I would just totally ignore it. But the thing about one of my character traits is that, and I'm sure you know
hmm
this, is that I am one stubborn bastard.
Yeah, well, being stubborn is not always a bad thing. It can come in handy in some ways. Sometimes it's a bad thing in other instances, and other times stubborn can be a good thing, because I've had people as well, like you. I've had people tell me that I wouldn't be able to do this and I wouldn't be able to do that. According to those doctors and so forth, I wasn't going to be able to achieve this or achieve that. I wasn't going to be able to do much of anything according to them. But I'm out here, I'm acting, I'm singing, I'm writing. I'm a
We got
screenwriter.
some more
I've had
projects to do together,
films.
man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And, my film, The Eternal Extra, just got into the Detroit Black Film Festival recently, which was its fifth
Oh,
film
nice.
festival. Thank you. So I don't let what people say to me stop me. I've been through too much, I've come through too much or whatever, but this is not about me, this is about you.
Yeah.
You dealt with other things as far as being an actor. Do you find the fact that you're in the Virginia area um, makes it difficult to find more work, or would you think it would be easier out in LA where there's a whole lot more people, but there's
Uh,
more concentrated opportunities or whatever, or more popular opportunities, I should say, rather, not concentrated, because it's more concentrated in Virginia because the market is not as big. But
well,
what were you going to
well,
say?
well. What I was gonna say, yeah, it does have its challenges, but the past 15 years, I've been going back and forth to New York a lot, and
Hmm
up until the pandemic hit, uh, the um, the film community in the DMV was actually growing, and
hmm
so I really wanted to um, stick my put my niche in that market first before I went back out to the bigger markets like
Okay.
New York and LA, which is where I started, and and but the industry
hmm
has changed. The industry has changed so much from when I entered as a child. Um, I remember being at the Boys and Girls Club in the Bronx, where Julian Temple, who at the time was a music video director, he came by and saw a dance competition that I was having with me and a couple of friends, and he was like, and he actually came up to me and he's like, I want you to be in my next video. And so
Okay.
it's like, it's like I'm gonna give you an hour to think about whether or not you want to do this. He gave me an exact hour. So I thought about it, was like, I thought, yeah, right, all right. And so my Aunt Ruby, who actually knows Julian, was like, yeah, the guy's legitimate. You need to go. So I busted out of the building. I went to a payphone off of I went to a payphone off of Jerome Avenue, and I called the number. This was back when you had to use a payphone, and I called them back. I had my father take me up to the hotel that he was staying at. I met with him, and I was flying out to California to do this music video. That music video was Janet Jackson's "All Right."
Oh wow! So you're in that. Can you be
Yeah.
seen in that?
Yeah, if you remember, there was a little boy in a red suit that did a little dance.
That was you.
Yes.
I have to go back and look at that now. I'm gonna go look that up later. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I'm a huge Janet Jackson fan.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to know what was interesting about that was that she was
hmm
still on her Rhythm Nation tour, and she was in the middle of it, and I guess her record label thought it would be a good idea to make this video, and so and I actually posted some behind the scenes photos of me on the set sometime last year, and
Okay.
I was actually able to meet Cal Calloway. I was actually able to meet one of the Nicholas brothers. Um,
Okay.
Heavy D also came on the set,
hmm
and I remember it was actually shot on a sound stage in Los Angeles in LA. This was around I think either February or March of 1990, and she was, and as I said, she was still in the middle of her tour, and
Gotcha.
Julian Temple and a lot of Janet's dances from her tour, they were
hmm
scattered throughout the entire video,
Okay.
and so
Wow. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, go ahead. So that was kind of like my first big credit that I had was a music
hmm
video because Rhythm
Well, yeah,
Nation.
Janet Jackson, that's a huge accomplishment and a big thing to be able to say that you were in a Janet Jackson video. A lot
Yeah,
of people can't say that. So hats off to you. Especially, I'm a big fan of Janet, and I just saw earlier where she has this documentary coming out, I believe in January, um, you know, talking about her life and her career. So I'm looking forward to seeing that documentary as well. So I know over the years you've been in quite a few web series. How many web series have you been in?
I think I've done about 3 or 4.
hmm
I lost count, but
You lost count. Which was your favorite one?
I normally don't try to have favorites
Okay.
because each one is a
Or
experience.
what?
But as far as my favorite in terms of comedy,
For the the role or
Um,
whatever. Yeah. Hmm.
I would have to say DC Yuppies
Okay.
because
Okay.
that was because it felt like it was a real ensemble. It was a real strong ensemble
Ensemble
piece.
cast. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I remember having a lot of fun doing that, and um, where I was allowed to improvise on a lot of scenes,
Right.
and I was able to bring some of my quirks and everybody, my good friend Antonio Harrison, he and I would have scenes together, and and the chemistry between him and I, it was just like this, it just
Right.
flowed, and
Hmm.
it was like that with the rest of the cast as well, and I mean we only had 2 seasons, but I had a lot of fun doing that.
Well, it's important. I mean, it's work, but it also should be enjoyable as well. So that's important. And when you bring together a cast, you want to bring together people who are going to gel together and have a camaraderie. That's very important. I know I personally can't be involved in a project where people are giving each other attitude and at each other's throats and stuff like that. So I can't work like that. So that's very important that you guys had that family feeling or that ensemble feeling. Um, I want to ask you about a situation which I know that you were very upset about. How many months ago was that? It was recently. It was a audition.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah,
I want to talk about right there when you were told that you
I
were
was too dark.
supposedly you was too dark for a role. Now, I want to give this some context because you said that this was another black man who said this to you, right?
Yep.
He was black. Okay. Was he also dark complected?
Yeah,
Okay.
which made it
See,
ironic. you
well,
know.
see, so what I'm going to say is he's fallen into what the society has said. And that's how he looks at himself. So of course that's how he's going to see you. He's going to put himself in a box because he's been taught that supposedly dark is not as good, which is crazy and stupid to me. And so we've fallen into this whole, some of us have fallen into this whole belief system of what we've been taught by this society, this Caucasian ran society that white is right and white is better, which is totally false. And so he's projecting that onto you. So it was more about him, what's in his head, what he needs to get out of his head, than it is about you. But what I would say is that you can't let people who say that kind of stuff to you stop you from going after what you want. Because I was also told when I wanted to play Walter Lee in a play, I wasn't even allowed to audition because in this particular casting director's eyes, because Sidney Poitier had made the role famous, and Sidney Poitier is a dark skinned black man. He could only see a dark skinned black man play Walter Lee. So for that reason, he would not let me play Walter Lee. Well, what
Yeah.
I said was, so I'm still a black man. I'm not. You can't confuse me for a white man. I don't look white at all, so I don't know
Right.
what the problem is. But I said, I said that I'm going to do this role one day, and I did it. I did it under my own theater company back in November 2018, and we got
Yeah, I
really great
remember that.
reviews for that. Yeah, so my thing is you don't let anybody stop you from doing what you want to do. Now, I know also you posted a while back that you wanted to do a biopic of who was this again? Was it George Washington Carver? It wasn't George Washington Carver. Who was it?
Yeah, it was actually a couple of
What?
people. George
Uh-huh.
Watt. Oh, yeah, it was George Watt. One of the people
Okay,
was
I'm right.
George Washington Carver,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and another person I wanted to do a biopic on was Rafale Edmonds.
Who that? That again?
Rafale Edmonds.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he was kind of like a DC drug smuggler, and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Right.
two different. two different.
Yeah, I would say two totally different stories. Of
Yeah.
course. I would say that. So what do you have coming up? You have any specific projects coming up, or how's it going as far as the process of bringing those
I,
biopics to reality?
well, I kind of I kind of put that on the side because of certain events that have happened in my
Hmm.
personal life. So I need to get back into doing that. But
Okay.
because with those two, I want to get it right. You know,
Oh,
um,
definitely. Yeah.
you know, it,
Well, you
the,
should
the,
always want to get it right, but especially, I
yeah,
know what you're saying, especially doing biopics, but especially for somebody who was known like George Washington Carver, who's a very
right,
important part of our history, you definitely have to get that one right. Definitely.
yeah, and dive into his into uh, into facades of his that a lot of people don't know about.
Hmm.
What people don't know was that George Washington Carver he was actually bisexual,
Hmm.
and and he was actually castrated at a young age.
I heard
And,
about that. I
yeah,
heard about the castration part. I knew about that. I didn't know about his specific sexual orientation.
yeah.
But
I
you were
mean,
saying he was bisexual.
yeah. I
Hmm.
think his longtime assistant was actually his partner, but I mean,
Okay.
but that's what research is about. You
Hmm.
got to dive into those specific areas.
Right.
But the last project that I worked on, which was in 2019, was a web
Hmm.
series called House of Sharks, which
Okay. I remember that.
excuse
Hmm.
me, got a little bit of bronchitis going on.
Okay.
But my character on that series was an alcoholic, and
Hmm.
I've had my own struggles with alcoholism over the years,
Okay.
and
So how you doing? How you doing with that now?
I've been
You
sober.
good?
Yeah, I've been sober for over a year now. So
Great.
so
I'm happy to hear that, man.
and
Definitely. You
and
should be proud.
and
Definitely. I mean,
I'm also
I'm happy for you. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Thanks, thanks, thanks a lot, man. And I'm also in I'm also in therapy too.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's very important.
and
Um,
therapy's a bitch. I will say it is a bitch.
so, so why is that? Is it because this particular therapist is challenging to you?
Yeah.
That's why, because they're not making it easy for you. They shouldn't make it easy for you.
No.
It should make it tough so that you will stay strong and you know, keep
Yeah,
yourself up.
and I'm at the stage where I'm taking accountability because they're like
Right.
taking accountability
Exactly.
for the role that you played and where you got yourself into. And
Hmm.
there was a lot of realizations that I had to come to terms with these past couple of weeks, and
Right.
it is not easy. And
Oh, I know.
and for a long time, all the anger I had, all the emotional turmoil that I had, I channeled it into into my craft as an actor.
Right.
And so and when the pandemic hit and when that was taken away from me, it was like a huge
Mm.
part of me was taken away, and I had to really reflect on who I was outside of the business, and
Yeah.
and that and that and that and it's hard,
Hmm. I mean,
you want
I can understand that because acting is therapeutic in itself in
yeah
a lot of ways for people and for serious actors and dealing with stuff that a lot of us have been through because a lot of actors have been through some traumatic stuff in their life at some point growing up or whatever, or in their adulthood or both. And so getting into another character and becoming someone else, it can be therapeutic,
Yeah,
to do that, dealing with somebody else's problems, but you also have to come back to dealing with your own. And I can see where when everything's shut down and you're shut in and you can't do this thing that you're passionate about that's been keeping you going, it can get to you. Um, it can get to you and make you feel like you're losing it or whatever. If you don't stay focused or have people around you who can, like help keep your spirits up and stuff like that. Because
yeah.
I know, I mean, I'm good with it, but I mean, I'm used to being on stage a lot. I'm used to doing back-to-back plays from one play to the next, and not being on stage in 2 years almost. Um, has been really challenging because I miss being on stage. But fortunately, I've had the opportunity to at least still do some little film work here and there with some people, some other people's projects that I've been involved in, as well as doing my own new film recently, which I do hope to turn that into a series, We Brothers, which I'm working on getting that edited right now. But definitely. So you don't know exactly when your next project is yet, because
I've
you're taking a break,
I
right?
mean, it's not like I've been taking a break.
Mm-hmm.
It's like because I do because I am still submitting for film projects. I submit all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
this is for the first time in my in my life. I'm actually taking care of my mental health and,
Right.
and and finding out who I
Well.
am outside of the end outside side of acting because
Mm-hmm.
you can only hide from your demons for so long.
Right. You can't hide it at all, really. I mean, you think you're
And
hiding, but it's right there.
yeah,
Right. Go ahead.
and anytime that I was in LA, my good family friend, the late John Singleton, he would always say, "When are you gonna start writing?"
Right.
That's the first question he would ask me. When
Mm-hmm.
when when you gonna start? And I would tell him, uh, I gotta get a good idea of what I want to do, and he would just tell me, just
Yo,
you
you knew
got
John. You knew John Singleton.
yeah
Look, that's a big deal. Knowing the late Mr. John Singleton, and he was telling you to write. He could have, if you had really sat down and got to your writing while he was still here, I'm sure he would have connected you, uh,
yeah yeah,
to, put you in the right place.
I know,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to use him to
No, it would. I don't
you
see
know
that as using, because I'm sure he probably wanted to help you. Just
yeah
like if I make it to a certain level, I'm going to help other black artists and stuff too. It's not about using. It's about help pulling each other up. That's what it's about. It's
yeah
not about using. You know.
yeah. And the last time I saw him when was in January of 2019, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm finally gonna do it. He was like, yo,
Right.
and he was like, yo, if you need any advice from me, on how to start, just let let me know.
Hmm.
I said, bet. And I said,
Right.
I'm actually going to come out to Cali at around April and May. And it's like, and I will definitely and we'll definitely link up. He was like, bet. Yeah, but make sure you get in touch with me because I'm getting ready to do the second season of Snowfall. So
Yeah. See, he wanted to help you. He was trying to take
yeah,
you under his wing. So that's a
yeah,
great thing,
yeah,
right?
and and I've known my family has known John since I was a
Mm-hmm.
kid.
Right.
He actually
Hey.
one of the things that when we were talking about boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was merely just doing background, on that film, and and uh, and it was at the George Washington Carver Middle School in L.A., which is where we shot the scenes, and and this was when he was fresh out of USC. This was, gosh, this was September of 1990, and
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm me being 7 years old, and there's a bunch, we're in this, we're doing the scene, where Trey and another kid gets into a
Mm-hmm.
fight, and John is just back there on his Game Boy and on his Sega Genesis in between takes, and
Right.
but 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 there was such a focus that he had, because Boys in the Hood, that was his baby. That was
Right.
his baby,
Mm-hmm.
because it actually came from a short film that he did when he was at USC called Summer of '84, and
Hey.
yeah, and which he did in 1989. I want to
Mm-hmm.
get that correct, because he and my cousin Sandra, they had excuse me,
That's cool.
they actually went to school together,
Right.
and so that's how I was able to meet John, and and over the years, I would run into him. He actually, when I graduated from college, he actually sent me a bottle of champagne. so
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that,
Cool. So
you know,
you talk, yeah. So you talked about the extra work you did. The other brother, Roger Tyler, is going to come on here soon to talk about his experience, um, as to why he has not yet joined SAG, because he has been SAG-AFTRA eligible for a while, but he has his reasons for not wanting to join. So you're welcome to definitely stay and be a part of that conversation and hear what he has to say about SAG, too. Before you, if you don't want to go, we can continue. Um, you can be a part of this conversation with him as well. So it's totally up to you if you want to stay
uh,
and talk. So whenever he
well,
comes on soon. Mm,
I'm actually supposed to be. I actually have plans tonight, so
hmm Okay.
I'm actually supposed to be going out to dinner with family tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I wanted to come on and speak with you, because
hmm
I have never been interviewed before about my life and about my career, and
Yeah.
and and
I see you, Roger. I'm about to let you on here. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Charles.
yeah, another thing that I was gonna mention was um, on the set of Boys, it was an all black crew.
hmm
John was he was very adamant about it
hmm
being about, because he wanted to do it like Spike did, and
Okay.
and Spike, he was notorious for wanting to he want Spike was I would say the first person to in my generation to actually, display all blackout everything,
Right.
even
I
even even down to the catering services.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
I'm the same way. I don't have the big budget that they have yet. It's coming, but I'm
right.
also about having I'm also about having an all black crew. And if I going to cater, it's going to be a black catering company. Everything's going to be black. I'm about trying to give black people opportunities. It's about looking out for our people first. That's the same way other people do. They look out for their people first, and nobody has a problem with it. And so until black people talk about putting black people first, then people have a problem with it. But I don't
Yeah,
care what people think. I'm going to
yeah,
continue to put black people first always. I'm
yeah.
about to let Roger on here. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, and also it was the all black crews that actually showed me what the cameras was all about. Uh,
Hmm.
my good friend at the time, George Gore, he was in the movie Juice. He played
Right.
Omar Epps. He was Omar Epps' brother in the film, and I was and he was actually able to bring me to the set one day on Covenant and 129th in Harlem,
Hmm.
and Ernest Dickerson, who was the director, who I had met when he was Spike's cinematographer when he was doing Mo Better Blues. Um, he was showing me how the cameras work. This is the boom, and and I can't believe I'm even gonna reveal this. It was the
Huh?
first time you're gonna trip out. And while he was showing me what was going, while Ernest Dickerson was showing me what the cameras are doing, uh, Tupac had gotten to a argument with one of the PAs and walked off.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he walked off the set,
Right.
and but Jermaine was like he was able to bring him back, and
Hmm.
he was Pac was able to calm down, and that was the first time that I met Pac,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
the one thing that really stood out to me was that I was trying to show him. I was trying to learn about the different cameras and all this stuff. Yeah, Ernest showed me what it was, but Pac was like he would actually stop filming and would actually and he would actually have one of the crew members show me what it was because
Oh, wow.
because what Pac if you're in the if you're coming out of LA and you're doing a movie in the hood, uh, you better respect the people that are there. And Pac didn't give a shit about any of that Hollywood shit. And so
Roger, you still there? Uh-huh. Go ahead.
so I just wanted to share that story.
That's the that's an amazing story. I mean, you have I didn't know that you had this wealth of uh such a great plethora of stories from so many great artists that are well known. I didn't know that you knew John Singleton, that he was a family friend, and that you were in Janet Jackson's All Right video. And well, I knew from the bio that you sent me that you had worked on Boys in the Hood, but I didn't know about all that, connection with John Singleton. And although, that was his film, and I didn't know that he had actually made friends with your family, or maybe he knew your family before that. And hearing about Tupac, that's definitely a great story. Now, I know Roger was still on here,
Oh
and I
yeah.
need you, if you still on here, Roger, I need you to send me another request to come on this screen, uh so
Hey,
we can get this
call
thing
T's.
going.
Hey,
Huh?
call T's. We gotta do this again because I have stories that you would not believe.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I definitely you're welcome to come back again.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Roger, if you're watching, Send me another request to come on screen, please, so we can talk about the whole thing. See you, Charles. Uh, he left. Okay, here we go. Come on. What's the problem? Let's see. Here we go. Oops.
Yo,
Hey, what's up?
what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? You
I'm good,
good? You
man. How
good?
about you?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Definitely. So that was a great conversation. He had a lot going on that I didn't know about as far as
Yeah,
the
I
different
did not
people that
know
he
that he
worked with.
had all that, and he was in the Janet Jackson video, and
As a little boy, yeah, he was in the
yeah,
Janet
that's
Jackson video
crazy.
as
I
a
was
little boy.
actually like, while y'all were talking about that, I was looking at Janet Jackson video, like, I'm gonna look to see where I can find him. I didn't see him, but I just gotta
Uh-huh.
look closer. But yeah,
He
man, how's
says,
everything been?
yeah, he said something about a little boy in a red suit dancing, but
Yeah,
everything's
something
been
like that.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
and and that he was family friends with his his family was friends with John Singleton.
yeah,
And John Singleton was telling him to get into writing. It was seemed like John Singleton was trying to take him under his wing and everything, which is um that was absolutely amazing, you know. Uh I wish I had met people like John Singleton back there, definitely. So you've been on here before.
oh yeah,
So
of course.
people know that you're an actor and a writer,
Yeah,
originally from Virginia area and so forth. And if you want to hear more about Roger, you can go check out episode 16, season 1 of TheCNote. I believe that's the episode that you were on, episode 16, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, episode 16. But you're here today to talk about the subject of SAG-AFTRA. Because when most people think about that, when most actors think about that, and people outside of the acting community think about that, they think that that's like something that every actor aspires to be a part of.
hmm,
And a lot of actors are excited about being a part of SAG-AFTRA and getting that SAG voucher and all this and that. But you are someone who has been SAG-AFTRA eligible for how long now have you been SAG-AFTRA eligible?
I
Eligible?
think like 5 years now. About 5 years.
Damn,
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah.
But you held off on taking that plunge of joining SAG-AFTRA. So I want you to let us know what are your reservations? What keeps you from doing that? I wanted to have another actor on here who was a part of SAG to like, you know, give it some more meat where y'all could
Hmm.
both go back and forth and talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
somebody who was pro SAG after, and you're somebody who had some cons, you know, against it. So, but hey, we're gonna make it do what it do. And so what's your issue with joining SAG-AFTRA? Why have you held off for 5 years? Because 5 years is a long time to be SAG-AFTRA eligible and be like later for that or put that on hold or whatever.
Right now, the main reason is because, well, it's kind of starting to grow around here, I guess you can say, to a
Mm-hmm.
point, but the roles weren't here for me to join SAG right now. Like there wasn't
Okay.
enough constant like roles where I can pay bills. Like there's it's
Mm-hmm.
not enough of that here for anybody that's in Virginia or DMV, not any actor kind of right now. Like unless
Right.
you're like one of those actors that have an agency that's constantly got you booked for something and you may have to fly out of places and fly out of Virginia to get those roles. Not every actor right now is eligible enough to really do that or in a good space to really join and jump and go from state to state to do things. So some of us are just getting work here,
Mm-hmm.
and there isn't enough of that here for me to join SAG and be like, all right, I'm okay to risk all of everything I can do and just stick straight into trying to find these SAG roles, because it's rare that you find a lot of lead roles that are actually paid, that can keep you like that. Like there's not too many things that you can do that'll keep
Mm-hmm.
you going, but like besides like industrial stuff or things like that, because I also do industrial work too,
Right.
through a company. But that's pretty much the only way you'll stay consistent with this, is if you have some type of industrial role in it. But what I
Mm-hmm.
do with that is not SAG, that's privatized. So nobody will ever be able to see what I do with what I do with my military stuff or my private military organization that I work with. But it's just not enough work for any actor to really stay consistent and have enough to where they can build enough to become to be SAG like that, to join SAG, especially in my opinion. For where I'm at, I'm a black actor in DMV, and there's only but so many roles I can do where I won't really go far. So, yeah.
Yeah, because most of the opportunities, especially, I mean, for everybody, but mainly, especially for black actors, it is background work, right?
Yeah, and it's not even just black actors. With that, it's all actors because there's not enough roles for all actors to get enough gigs here.
Well, that's what I said. I said it's for all actors, but especially even more so. Yeah, but I know it's for everybody. So you hold off because of the lack of opportunities and everything for speaking roles and so forth. And the fact that if you join and if there's like this really great non-union project, they may be paying something, and the role is something that you really want to do. If you join SAG, you might not be able to do it unless they give you some type of deferred thing or
Taft Hartley or something like that. There are ways to get around it. I mean, but it's kind of overly complicated, and especially paying dues right now. Like, who really can pay? And I'm not even trying to say that everybody in Virginia is broke or we're all broke, because a lot of us can pay this stuff, but it's just who really has the extra money to pay something that's not benefiting them. Who can give $3,000 right now and be like, all right, I can just give that away and get probably 1,000 maybe back for the year. Like, it's not really a good investment.
I know it costs to join, and I know that there are yearly dues. You're saying the yearly dues are 3,000?
No, it's for certain aspects of joining. I'm still trying to learn the ways. I know regional, I think, is like 1,500 to join, and then I think like national is 3,000, which is what everybody would want. I don't know why you would just join regional, because like I'm saying, look at our region. So, I mean, it just all depends on what you want to do as an actor. And if you're able to pay that, and now don't take me wrong and be like, don't do it at all. If you're able to do it and you can travel and you can go around and do all these things and you have the actual stability and funds to do that, then by all means, go join SAG and do that. But I just know from experience and the actors that I'm around a lot, there's not a lot of us that can actually just pick up and leave and go places like that without having some type of stability or knowing of like having connections in different places. Like, I know a lot of PAs that do that. That's a PA thing. Like, a lot of PAs on different sets travel and they have connections in different states, so they can go stay with this people or this people. Even a lot of actors have that too as well. But it's just for us in Richmond to stay on the DMV side. It's not a lot here for us to join SAG and be comfortable. So that's mainly why I haven't. I mean, there's really no point for me to join right now. It would be a bad investment right now for me. From my personal stance, it would be a bad investment. I can spend that money and, like I'm doing now, create my own project, create my own films, do my own stuff to put myself in lead roles and others in lead roles. That's how you kind of want. I think that's what people want in the game, is to be seen and to be seen what you can do with the lead or how you come off as some type of role. You can't just give a casting director a video of you with all background stuff and be like, hey, I was behind this person in this role. I was behind that actor right there. You see me moving, you see my head moving. That's not how this works. So use the money that you have. Stop taking these dumbass classes. I'm gonna repeat the cameras right here. Stop taking these classes out here from these actors that are just actors with no resume. Stop it. They are robbing you. I don't know why these actors are doing that. It's like a lot of these people out here that are having these classes and stuff, and it's like, but where's your resume? What am I giving you this money for? Like, they're just to have fun with y'all. Like, it's cool to market and stuff with these actors and stuff. It's great. But why am I going to pay somebody something to teach me something that I can learn myself? And again, put that money towards my own projects, or put that money towards a monologue, or go to reel to reel. They have projects you can do yourself that they can build you a scene and have that. Like, spend money on stuff like that and stop wasting your money when we have YouTube, we have all this resources out here by the tips of our fingers, but people still want to pay people for knowledge, and you cannot pay for this. You cannot pay to get into anything. You can't pay. I don't understand why people think that I can just keep paying all this stuff and paying all this stuff, and eventually they're going to see me. No, you have to do the work. You have to be out here creating your own stuff. These people are not looking for actors that just stand around and just want to do nothing. They want to see if you can do stuff yourself. How good are you? And it's just get exhausting out here seeing a lot of actors that really put themselves in these bad spots and then get mad. It's like the little meme you see with the dude with the bike and he puts a stick in the wheel and he falls and hurts himself and it's like, like it's like that. It's like that's what you're doing to yourself.
So you're saying that there are people out here teaching acting classes that never acted before?
No, not people that have never acted, but they just don't have resumes, or they don't have the credibility that I've seen to be like, all right, what am I going to learn from you that I can't learn from looking at Film Courage on YouTube? What can I learn from you? Like, besides just giving you this money, like I'm giving you money for what? Like I can give this money to, like I said, to people that actually do monologues and can create me a monologue that I can have and present to people to show that I can act instead of just paying you money to just talk to me about stuff I can learn on my own. And a lot of these people, and I guess I'm not calling out no specific people or nothing like that, but it's just a lot of people are robbing people for some reason. And this is so weird that they want to do that to people. Like, why do you want to teach that you know all this stuff and you're so credible and you're not really teaching anything? Like, what are you teaching that's so different, that's so magical, and it's going to pop, and what connections then you have? And there's a lot of these big people in Hollywood too that do that type of stuff, where they have these $500 courses and $1,000 courses, and you pay for my course and you'll be a #1 actor. That's not how this works. Like, that's not how this works, y'all. You have to put in the work. People look at me and be like, I want to be an actor. I'm like, all right, I'm not even close to where I want to be. And this is 5 years in. I'm 5 years in. And I'm telling y'all, this is one of the most stressfulest things you can ever do is be an actor. There's so much stress in it. And when we don't have a lot of work here, we don't have a lot of stuff here to join SAG and things, it makes it harder if you're going to join SAG. And a lot of people made a mistake doing that during movies like Wonder Woman, like when that was filming here. Like, a lot of people were, that was their first acting gig. And they got their 3 vouchers. And then they got their 3 vouchers and they automatically joined SAG. And it's like, oh, so what are you going to do now? You have no other footage of no other films you've been in. What's your next move? And it hurts. It hurts. Like, and some actors might have gotten somewhere, but I know for a fact it was a lot harder to try to bust your tail and try to find all of this footage and get all your stuff together and get all of your just trying to scramble around and find little small roles just to fill these things. But it's not going to work like that. You can't just buy your way into this. You have to put in the groundwork. That's why I didn't join, because I'm putting in the groundwork. I'm creating a path so when I do join, I'm credible. I can go out here and go to a casting agent and be like, here's my resume, here's my films, here's my reels, here's everything I have right now to show you that I am an actor. I'm not just a background person. But people just, it's a microwave society we live in, man. We live in a microwave society and nobody wants to be a slow cooker. Like, it's so weird, man.
You can't show a casting director, like you said, you cannot show a casting director footage of you just walking by somebody on the street or being juror number 3 on Law and Order or whatever, sitting in the drawer box nodding your head or whatever, saying a couple of words. You have to have actual scenes showing that you can play different characters and so forth. It's, so that's very important. And as you said, create your own projects too. In the meantime, while you're trying to get noticed by so-called mainstream, and of course, that's what I'm doing, creating my own projects for myself and other, specifically, ain't no shame in my game. I create specifically for other Black artists as well, because of the lack of opportunities for us, and also the fact of the lack of non-stereotypical stuff as well, because I refuse to do the stereotypes, and I'm very intentional on showing Black people in positive lights, loving each other, and building each other up, and not just the same most dysfunctional stuff that they like to show us doing. You know,
Oh, I have a
but you.
lot of craziness coming up, man, with diversity. I'm a heavy believer in diversity when it comes to anything
Hmm.
in film,
Hmm.
whether it's black, white, whatever.
Hmm.
And I've definitely been diversifying my roles and things lately, and
Hmm.
trying to like include different people and demographics, to include more women. Working with a
Hmm.
lot more people with that have that want this, that want to try to do something different and
Hmm.
build themselves into this. So
Hmm.
there are people that I'm gonna be talking to coming up that I'll be working with, but I know
Hmm.
the next few projects I have are very diverse
Hmm.
in different ways. So
Well, that's your calling. I'm not going to knock that. My calling is to put together stuff for Black people, and also to try to bring together the diversity amongst our own people as well, because there's a diversity in the African diaspora that needs to be brought together as well. Because when we talk about diversity, we normally think about, of course, we think about other races and so forth, but we never think about the diversity also within our own people, which we never work on bringing those sections together or sectors together, like with
mhm.
African Americans and continental Africans or Afro Cuban and Afro Latinos and so forth, the Dominicans, and all the Caribbean islands and so forth, the Caribbean and all that. That's one of the things that I've been called to do personally. So, you know, I don't not, anybody else's calling. I know you or about bringing together the different
I
diverse
mean,
races
not
and
even.
all
I get what you're trying to
that.
say. That
Right.
I guess I said that wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
No,
mean,
you didn't. It's cool.
diversity in everything. Like it's like we
Hmm.
just. I literally just. I executive produced a film recently called Hallowed with Joy Donaldson and Sean King,
Hmm.
and that
Hmm.
film is a beautiful film that is all shades of black. Like it's
Hmm.
just beautiful. It's an art piece of pain and acceptance and just all around joy, like no pun
Right.
intended. But it's just it was a beautiful film, and I do that a lot. I
Yeah.
definitely try to include my people and want to include my people with anything that I do.
Hmm.
Um, and with that film, Joy did an amazing job with the casting and everything. She did the casting for it all, casting everybody, and it's
Hmm.
just I love working with my people. That's the number one
Right.
thing. Like I love that, but I also want to work with others too that are trying to get into this in any type of way
Hmm.
they're trying to get into. Like I have a film that's coming up that I'm working on that's very different and diverse. I have a film that I'm
Right.
working on with where I'm playing different versions of myself. So
Okay.
it's a lot of stuff that I'm working on that's coming up, and it's I get what you're saying about us having it up for us black people, and that's one thing I always include with anything that I do is I don't like to stray away from that I'm
Hmm.
number one a black man in America. Like
Right.
that's the number one thing. I'm black. Number two is like I'm trying to just bring something different to anything that I do. So all the
Right.
roles that I do that are diverse and are switching in different
Hmm.
ways are going to touch somebody in somewhere. And
Right.
that's what I kind of push to do with everything that I do. I like just making myself different. I got told recently I'm a chameleon.
Hmm.
So that's the one way that I kind of have blended into doing things. And before anything, can we have a moment of silence for Michael K. Williams?
Oh
Um,
yeah, I just found out about that just before I
yeah,
got on
man,
here.
like that, man. Let's have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Literally last week, man, I literally was like, I'm going to tap into this man's career because I'm admiring everything I've been seeing him in recently and everything that he's been doing
Right.
from just being who he is. I loved him in Lovecraft Country. Um,
Hmm.
The Wire, Omar, like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so many roles that he has. He even recently just did the DMX tribute where he played DMX in the tribute and
Wow.
for his tribute concert. And
Yeah.
it's just so crazy because I really wanted to learn this man's career. I'm like, all right, he's such a great actor. And I was like last week, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tap into this man. I'm gonna look into him. And then this happens this week. It's just so crazy how
Right.
short life is, man. Like So it's
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I
that's a hard
wasn't.
one, man.
Well, I didn't even know. I don't know the details. I don't know if he was sick or what. I just was told by. I was texted by a friend that I hear about Michael K. Williams just before I got on here to do this. And I didn't really have a chance to find out because I had not heard until he texted me and told me that. So I didn't know. Um, so I didn't know anything about him being sick or anything like that. I don't know the details of what happened to
I
him, but
heard
I'm
something
really
about the
trying.
details. I didn't know under my post that I shared on Facebook that somebody said what might have happened. I don't want to repeat it on here
Hmm.
because it's just
Okay.
yeah, it's one of those. I'll just if you got y'all got phones, y'all can look it up what happened. But I'm hoping that's not what
Yeah.
happened.
But I didn't
Yeah.
have a chance. I didn't have a chance to look it up because like somebody actually somebody texted me about that like 5 minutes before I got on here. I didn't have a chance to really like check that out because I was trying to get myself together to get on here and talk to Charles and talk to you. Um, so I'm really sorry to hear that. He's definitely an actor that I've admired for many years as well, and was hoping to, get to meet him and maybe work with him someday. There's quite a few great actors and actresses that I would love to work with someday. Uh, but I know a lot of people are leaving here, so I don't take that for granted. You know, these past 2 years have been very eye-opening and
Yeah.
uh, challenging to an extent, but not overly challenging. Because what I miss about it is just being able to freely create, and to be able to do theater as regularly as I was doing it. Because I've done a lot of stage work and I have a wide range of characters that I played on stage. So I know about, diversity in acting, diversity in roles and so forth, and being able to become different people, taking on different personalities and different mannerisms and so forth, becoming a totally different person outside of yourself, which is something very important as an actor to know how to do that, to transform yourself into someone else is very important. But you've given a lot of great information on here about SAG-AFTRA and the things to weigh and whether or not you want to
I'm
join or not. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to weigh your pros and cons. Like, I didn't want to
Right,
come on here and be like, "Don't join SAG, don't do it, it's not right." Don't know. I mean,
right.
just weigh your pros and cons. It's not for everybody. I'm just in the region we're in the DMV. It's starting to get better. It's definitely
Hmm.
we're starting to grow more things out here where we can have opportunities for lead roles. But I've
Hmm.
also noticed a lot of those lead roles are casted from people that don't even live here or from other states. So
Right.
that's kind of like
Hmm.
it's a toss up too. So I mean, the best thing you can do to build your own like resume is to work with people and corporations. I mean corporations, people and companies that are like looking to do reels for actors or people that want to just
Right.
make a whole a scene for you,
Hey.
do something
Right.
different. Like it's just it's gotten out of hand, man. How like much money people are wasting just trying to buy their way into the industry, and there's no dollars amount on how you can get into this. I literally came into this with nothing. Like I have nothing. I had nothing at all, and I just y'all don't understand, man. This is a hard. This man. This field is hard. Like it's hard out here. It is hard being an actor. It is hard. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of discipline, a lot of just no's, a lot of stress,
Right.
even producing. Me being a
Hmm.
producer now and just like putting my own foot into my own stuff and giving my own money to things and paying my own actors and doing
Hmm.
my own films. My gosh, I'm telling y'all, it is. I want
Well,
to pull my hair out. Like it's
well,
y'all don't understand. Like my hair is this long because of just waiting to shoot films. Like I don't never have my hair out grown out like this. I'm kind of like a
Mhm.
low cut fade wave dude. But
Right.
growing my hair out for all these films has just been like it's been this whole summer. So let alone it's been my fault because it's my own films. But at the same time, a lot of delays and pushbacks and stuff has just been making it to the point where I can't have my
Oh,
hair the way I want it because I'm doing certain things with certain films. Y'all see in
I
the future,
I know
but
I know how it is. I mean, I'm an actor and a director and a writer and all that too. So, and a producer. So I deal with all that as well and dealing with sometimes dealing with actors who have attitudes and other people who have attitudes, and then somebody will drop out on you. Like they started shooting the film like this, but like my first film, there was this sister in the film, um, who I had acted with before in a play, and I put her in my film. She was doing a great job, but so she shot some scenes, and then when we needed her for this last scene, she did not show up that day.
Mm.
And so I didn't have it like that to reshoot that, so I had to think on my feet on the spot as to like kind of rewrite the scene on the spot to make it make sense for her not being there. So sometimes you got to do that kind of stuff too. You got to think on your feet when somebody don't show up the day of a shoot. That's already in your film because if they don't show up, you either gotta try to get them to come and reschedule another day, or you have to go all the way back and find another actor and reshoot all that shit over again, which is a big headache, you know.
We
To
won't
have
talk about
to,
something, but yeah, I yeah,
huh?
because I said we won't talk about what happened, but yeah,
Yeah, to have to shoot something all over again after you've already shot footage with some actors and
yeah,
somebody don't show up and you can't finish the project because they decide they don't want to do it anymore and you have to go back and start all over again from scratch and shoot all that shit over again. That's more time and more money. That's a big headache. So I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
It, it's a lot of work from the acting side and it's a lot of work from the producing and writing side as well. It's a lot to deal with. And so this has been a very enlightening conversation. And I know that a lot of people who are out there who are actors already will probably agree. Somebody might disagree because there's always got to be somebody to be disagreeable.
I know.
But
I
um,
want that conversation to be like that. Like people, that makes. I'm not 100% right. I'm not right
right.
at all in certain things that I've said.
Hmm.
But I know just from my experiences and the way that I've seen things through my eyes in the
Right.
DMV and what I go through and what I know other actors that go through.
Hmm.
It's like that here. It's not a lot of
Yeah.
work to just stick to. There's nobody out here that's in the DMV that are just actors. There's nobody
Hmm.
like that's just an actor out here unless you have some type of privilege or you have something where you're stable in some type of way, you're living with somebody or
Hmm.
something where you're having some type of something that's taken care of outside of this, because I don't know too many people that are just actors. I don't know anybody that's just an actor here. They have a side hustle. That's with anything you do.
Right.
Everybody has a side gig or has to get money in some type of way to keep themselves stable, because acting, even with actors, you have 30 days before you get paid. You net
Hmm.
30s, like net 60s and
Right.
90s. Like people don't even know about those. Like that's what sucks. Like when somebody hits you with, all right, we're gonna give you this job, net 30. Damn, what's the net? You're thinking, what's a net 30? Oh, that means we're not paying you for over 30 days. Like, so this just sucks. Like, it's like that shit sucks, man. People don't understand
Yeah,
that
it
part of the
does.
game, though, man. There's stuff out there that, I mean, that's how it's ran out here, man.
Hmm.
You gotta hustle, man. Like you gotta do something out here just to keep yourself going beyond trying to chase your dream and catch your goal,
Right.
because people out here think that I'm just an actor. No, I work 8 to 5 every day, like
Hmm.
almost. So, and I get off and I'm still doing my acting stuff while I'm working on other things. I'm working on scripts on my lunch breaks. I'm working on scripts. Like I'm
Right.
eating, living, and shitting this. Like this is what I
Hmm.
want to do. And sometimes it takes me just sacrifice, man. And people don't understand that
Oh, it's
though. They don't.
a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline. Got to be disciplined to make stuff happen.
Oh, you
Um,
know. Yeah,
yeah.
you know
So,
too.
oh yeah. And even in acting, if you do get to a certain point, it still shouldn't be just the only thing you do. Um, you should have like I feel as though every actor, particularly black actors and actresses, should develop or try to develop a writing skill,
Hmm.
learn other things in the business behind the scenes and so forth, so that you will always have something to do. Um, and you can create your own projects because a lot of actors are sitting around waiting for their quote unquote dream role, whatever that might be, if they have a dream role. They're waiting for somebody else to give it to them, or for it to fall in their lap. But you have to, sometimes you got to create that shit for yourself, you know? That's why I encourage different people to write, to develop a writing talent. If you're not a natural writer, try to work on it. Go take some writing classes or whatever, and work on your imagination skills and so forth, and develop a writing talent so that you can develop your own project. It's very important. That way
And
you
make
won't be
sure you listen to the right people and do your
right.
research on everybody in this DMV
Mhm.
scenes. There's a lot of people that run their mouth and don't know what they're talking about or have no credibility on
Right.
what they're doing. Like you can look them up and not see that they're doing anything. Like, so
Oh
some of these
yeah.
people, yeah, some of these people really need to just be quiet and hush. Like,
Hmm.
like I say back in the day, you need to hush your mouth. That's what they need to do. Just hush. Like just quiet. Just watch people that are experienced or that are actually doing this, do it, and then learn from them. That's what I
Hmm.
had to do. When I came out here, when I first started, I didn't jump in the game and be like, well, I know we got to do this and this and this, and we got to do this. This is 5 years of
Hmm.
me doing this. Like I've literally been in this whole game for 5 years, and
Right.
it's the stuff that I've experienced that I can tell people I've done this. You can look me up and see that I've done things. I'm pretty experienced in what I do. So
Right.
I see people that want to just run their mouth and be like, we need to do this. And I'm like, you're wrong. Like, and I
Hmm.
wish them the best, but that's not an attitude to have, man. This is, like I say, again, this is not a microwave society, but everybody wants to be
Hmm.
microwavable. Nobody wants to
Oh
be a
yeah.
slow cooker. It's weird. It's so weird out here now. Like people see a TikTok dance and think that, oh, I can do that too. People see
Right.
us doing acting stuff. Oh, I can direct a film. I can know you gotta
Hmm.
learn. Like there are things you gotta do. Like I'm learning myself still. I have a few films I'm working on, and I'm
Hmm.
learning things every single day about filming. Like
Right.
the money, just the money. Oh, the money
Yeah.
alone. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sick, man. It's sick. Paying
That is a
actors
big
like
challenge.
that's something that I pride myself in now. Like I'm able to
Hmm.
at least give actors certain things because like I wasn't able to do that at first, and this thank God
Right.
because of the situation I'm in right now, I'm able to do that. But I
Hmm.
wasn't able to do that at first. Like I wasn't able to pay actors and help them out. But everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason, man. Everything
It,
happens for a reason, and
yeah.
being able
It's
to do
very
that is just a
important.
great feeling.
Yeah. I want to be able to do that myself, with my film projects, be able to pay actors as well. And, but of course, the last time I was only able to pay the camera person, the cinematographer, which is very important to be able to pay the cameraman. Because without that cameraman, you ain't getting nothing done. You can just,
Yeah,
you just be standing there directing yourself if you don't have a cameraman and want no camera there, and have nobody to, do the right angles and all that kind of shit. So that's very important to pay the cameraman. But I'm very honored that I had people coming from different places who believed in my project, willing to come from out of town to do We Brothers because they believed in it, obviously, which I don't take that lightly. The fact that there were two actors who came from New York, and they came from New York on their own dime, um, because they believed in this project. And you came from Richmond, Virginia, because you believed in this project, and I don't take that lightly at all. I appreciate that, definitely. So it means a lot, and it is important to listen to the right people, because I know that sometimes people have motives. Because I'm not going to say this person's name, but there's this writer, and he teaches a writing class and all that. He's talented, but he wanted to see my script for my first film, and we met up or whatever, and I think he wanted to like take it over. That's what it was. He wanted to take it and uh do it over, and he wanted to like take control over my stuff. Um, and so he was trying to be sneaky and sly about stuff, and one way that I knew he was lying is because I brought up Tyler Perry, and he tried to come for me and say that, um well, your writing is not as good as Tyler Perry, and I know that's a fucking lie. I know that's a fucking lie right there. No offense to Mr. Tyler Perry, but I know good and well that I outwrite Tyler Perry. I don't write that crap that he writes. That That's stereotypical shit. So this person was just trying to get inside of my head and make me doubt myself, so I would like turn over my shit to him, and I
Thing is,
caught on to that. Huh?
thing is, I wouldn't even call Tyler Perry's work crap because I mean he has brought a lot to black culture, man. And for us, and for somebody
Yeah.
that's supposed to uplift black people, man, you gotta uplift
Hmm.
every single aspect of black people. I don't care
Right.
if you
Well.
whatever black you are, I'm uplifting you like that.
Hmm.
That's just I'm voting for
Well,
everything black. Like I
me
want
me too,
everybody, Tyler
but
Perry, all of them. I want them all to win because that's inspiring somebody. Tyler Perry inspired me in some type of way.
well, what I'm saying is a lot of his stuff is stereotypical. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the stereotypes. Uh, there's some of his films that I do like, but there's a lot of his
I can
stuff
agree
is
to that.
stereotypical. And I personally get tired of the stereotypes and the buffoonery. Sometimes that's all I'm saying. But I do give the brother his props, and I respect where he came from. The fact that he was homeless at one time and sleeping out of his car, and he pulled himself up from there, and how when he first started putting on his shows, he said nobody was showing up. Maybe three or four people or whatever, a very small amount of people in the audience would be there, and um, I guess he got discouraged at one time, but he kept going, and eventually um, things happened for him. So that he just had his testimony just shows that even when it seems like things not going to happen for you, you got to stick it out and keep going and believing that it is going to happen, no matter what it looks like right now. It's going to happen if you keep believing and praying about it and believing that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So definitely, but I wasn't putting the brother down per se, but but I some of his writing I don't agree with. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Yeah, I mean, I get you.
I
Yeah,
respect.
I can agree. Some of his stuff is very, very, yeah. But I mean, I'm just glad that some little boy out there or some little girl out there is looking at his films and is like, I can do that one day. I want to do that one
Mm-hmm.
day, and they're going to do that one day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm happy
Well,
about, man. Because it's just
I
inspiring to see us keep winning.
right. I well, hopefully that they'll look at that and want to write someday, but hopefully they'll want to write some different types of stories too. Because
Yeah,
people, I've had people over the past several years keep calling me, and they probably just saying it because we both black and all that. They keep saying you're the next Tyler Perry, you're the next Tyler Perry, and I'm like, well, I'm nothing like him as far as our writing styles and stuff like that. But I do respect where he came from, and I definitely want that level of success so I can be able to help
yeah,
other people in our community. That's why I do what I do. I don't my artistry my artistry is not just based on me personally and what I want personally. My artistry is also dedicated to trying to heal the black community and to empower the black community because that's what needs to happen. Hey, what's up, Brandon? I just saw Brandon is on here. Who played
what's
Octavius.
up, Brandon?
Hey, what's up?
I don't even
So,
check the messages. There's a lot of people on here. Oh, what's up, Hypey? Arctic
Rue.
Freeze, what's good, my guy? A lot of
Hey,
people on
Brandon. I
here.
just saw Brandon was on. Yeah, we was in that
Maul, what's
conversation.
good, bro? Yeah, I see a lot of people on here. Shout out to everybody that's watching.
Yeah.
Y'all guys and gals are great.
Yeah, thank you all. Well, we're about to sign off now, though, because I've been on here for a while. I was talking to Charles
Yeah,
Lee and talking to you, but it's been a great conversation. You know, it's all about respecting each other. Of course, nobody is ever going to agree with any one person 100% of the time. No matter who you are, there's going to be something that you disagree about, whether it's something small like you may like shrimp fried rice and they don't like it, or something stupid or whatever, but you're not going to agree with any one person on every single topic. And today, a lot of people tend to want to cancel a person if they dare have a mind of their own about something, or don't agree with them on some topic. They don't want to have anything to do with you, which is really silly to me. You should be able
yeah,
to agree. You should be able to disagree about certain things and still be cool with each other. That's how I feel
exactly.
about it. Yeah. So thank you very much, Roger.
All right.
Go ahead.
Before we go though, let me do some drops, man. I got some stuff that I got to
Okay. Go
drop
ahead.
on
Go ahead.
everybody. Let me get my forehead because I've been seeing nothing but forehead in this camera the whole time I've been here. I look crazy, but it's
Go
all
ahead.
good. I got a lot on my mind. But
Right. I know that's
all
right.
right. First of all, shout outs to like I said, everybody. Please go stream Hollowed on the IndieTube right now. That is a great, great, beautiful art piece. It's a beautiful film by Joy Donaldson. Stream that right now, please, on the IndieTube.
Okay.
Also, check out the trailer for an upcoming film I have coming out called Together. I'm telling y'all, you are going to bug out when it drops. Y'all are going to love it. Y'all are going to, I'm just telling you, it's going to be one of those films that's going to really showcase some stuff. And y'all are going to love that. I don't even want to talk about it because just go to the site, togetherthefilm.com. Check out some screenshots, the trailers there as well. That's on my wall. I have another film that I'm working on, a couple little horror shorts I'm working on. Shout outs to all my people that are working on that. I hope y'all tune in on that. And also I have a Batman film that I'm in coming out on October 29th by Mad Crab Productions. Shout outs to Corbin and everybody on that. I'm working on another film called Hybrid with a comic book corrector called Ron Cromartie. I'm working with him. He also has the New America comic. So if you have that comic or if you know about that comic, go buy some more. It's a black comic creator. Go get it, New America. Yeah, just work. This is what I talk about with everybody. Just work. Right. Just build connections and work, man. Just build your connections. None of this stuff comes from me looking for anything. It's just because people see me working and they're like, hey, I want to work with this guy. I see how hungry this guy is. Just start working, man. Like that's all it takes. Just build and do what you can. I'm sorry. I had to let that off my chest. There's a lot going on and there's so much going on. People are like, all right, what's going on? Just look at all my stuff on my feeds and my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitters. Just check everything out. And yeah, y'all see a lot that's about to happen. Fourth quarter is going to be crazy. So.
All right. Well.
And also, We Brothers, when that drops, whenever We Brothers drop, next year, right? I think.
Well, I was trying to get it together before the end of this year. Hopefully, I can still get it together before the end of this year. Hopefully, but I don't want to just throw it together. I want it to be right.
Exactly.
With the editing. And with the with the right music and everything too. Because music is a very important part of a film. The background music, different scenes and stuff like that. So you got to have the right music in there as well as having a kick-ass editor. So go ahead.
I also want to give a shout out to the film that I'm working on, my baby that I'm working on right now. It's called Daughter. Y'all will see some behind the scenes footage sometimes this month. I'll be dropping I'll have a friend that did some behind the scenes on it that I've been doing. And that film is the film that I'm growing my hair out for. I really despise growing my hair out like this because it's summertime and I've been hot all summer. But yeah, man, that film's going to be great. Shout outs to Monet Allen. She is the director and the videographer of this. Shout outs to my manager, Pat Mamau. We're working. He's really, that's my guy. He's been pushing me to do a lot. So just, yeah. And if y'all looking for me, book me through that, through the website, on my pages. You see it on all of my social medias. So yeah.
Okay.
The Daughter's coming soon. Shout outs to everybody on that. Yeah. So. It's just work, man. Just work. I'm excited because I ain't talked to nobody in a while. So yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It's good seeing you. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing your projects. I'm gonna check Together out and Hollowed and all that, and definitely looking forward to us coming together to see We Brothers once it's all put together. I think the audience will love it, and they're probably gonna be surprised by some stuff too. But it's all good. It's what it is.
All right. Shout outs to whoever's hitting the hearts like that. They are spamming the hearts in the comments right now.
I see that.
I'm loving that, y'all. Y'all showing mad love, and I appreciate that. This weekend and today, man, y'all don't understand. I definitely needed that. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are appreciated. Y'all are adored. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with Roger and I, and also whoever was here from the beginning when I was talking to Brother Charles Lee as well. Another great, talented brother who's had to deal with a lot and overcame a lot. I'm very proud of him as well. Very proud of you too,
Charles, man.
Roger. Yeah, shout out to Charles. I'm proud of both of you brothers, and I look forward to us continuing to grow and work together. We definitely got to do some more stuff together as well. All
Yes.
right.
All right.
So take care, y'all. All right. All right,
Take care,
Cuzzo.
everybody.
All right.
Me and my forehead are leaving. See y'all later. Y'all take care, all right?
Travel with those thoughts, man. Yeah. All right. All right now. All right.
See you later.
All right. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, y'all. That was a great episode with Brother Charles Lee and Brother Roger Tyler, two very talented brothers. I will be back sometime later this month, which is the next 2 weeks, with another episode of TheCNote. I love you, family. God bless you, and take care. Bye now.